on. Hello, everybody. And look who I've got with me. This,
Hi, I'm so excited to be here. I'm seeing all
yes,
these familiar names and all these new names.
yes, I am so excited that you're here. I've been looking forward to this for a long time and finally got you here. And
Yeah, I
just
was sick
very,
the week we were supposed to collaborate. That the first schedule we had, and that was the week that I went down in illness. So yeah,
right.
happy to finally be here.
Yes, I'm so glad you are. And you are better.
Much better, back to normal health now. Yeah, energy levels are up. Yeah, back to normal.
Right. Awesome. So, like I said, I am so excited to have you here. We're going to say hi to a few people. If you're watching on
Okay.
replay, please hit the like and subscribe for both channels. Trish does have her own channel and she
Hmm.
is simulcasting. So, if you would please, if you're in my chat, go over to Trish's chat and give her a subscribe and a like.
Yeah,
And
and my people, please do the same back for Scott as well.
oh, thank you. Thank
Yes.
you. So say vice versa if you want to.
Yeah.
So yeah. All right. Let's see who we got with
And
us.
and and please enjoy the community, the clients. I love it when 2 communities come together and they get to know each
Yeah.
other in the chats and they have their little chats together. It's really nice to see 2 communities coming together.
Yeah, it is. It is nice to see that. Um, let's see who we got with us. We've got Jackie Jacaranda. That is my friend from the UK, and she's my right hand man. So she does, her right hand lady, I should say. She does everything behind the scenes for me. And there's Carolyn. Hi, Carolyn. And Vanessa is here. Hey, Vanessa. And Vanessa has been sick, and she just
Oh,
got over a surgery, and she
oh,
found out she, had a hard time with the surgery because she found out she was anemic.
oh, which
Oh,
was where my problem started. Yeah, I
yeah,
had the iron infusion I've had several, but this one I just had reactions to.
yeah, yeah. So I wanted to mention that. So
Mm,
Vanessa knows you. You're not alone, Vanessa. So
yeah, yeah.
Zora is here. Hi, Zora. And Willow. Hello there. And Joyful Journey Jen. Hello, hello. And let's see. Still scrolling. Thelma is here. Oh, you know what? I just now looked at the number of people in chat where there's no way we're gonna get to everybody. So
Okay. I can't see the
yeah.
numbers, but yeah, okay.
Yeah, we have
We could be here
50,
a while.
50 right now. So we would be here
Right.
for a while if I said hi to
Yeah,
everybody. So
yeah.
hi
But hello,
everyone.
everybody.
Yes, thank
Thank you
you
for
for
joining
being
us.
here. And artist Liz is here. You know
Yeah,
artist Liz.
I do know artist Liz, yes.
So, and
Hi, Liz.
she bought me this. So
Yeah.
this is one of Trisha's decks. So, all right. So, let me just get to the bottom and make sure there's no questions I need to highlight. Um, so if you don't mind me asking, just how did you get started?
Mhm.
And what drew you into doing the wonderful decks that you do?
So the cards, how did I get started in cards? So my life pre YouTube, I was a photographer for 25 years, also a graphic designer. So qualified graphic
Oh,
designer and photographer. So that's where it started. Back when I started in 1999 as a photography, we were film cameras. So we just used to use film, and then slowly the digital cameras started to come in and I had to learn how to do Photoshop. So I started learning Photoshop, and then that was in about 2006. Then I started getting more creative and arty with that. By 2009, I started pulling people into the studio, photographing people, and then creating art out of them using Photoshop. All very new for me at the time, so it wasn't very good. But then I really had a leap in my ability in Photoshop art, or digital art they call it, when I went back to uni. So I went to uni and did advanced creative Photoshop. I also did graphic design, and I did web design as well. So I did that kind of creative branch out of that's where I started to get good at Photoshop. So then from there, by about 2011 was when I had my first Oracle deck. So I'd worked from 2009 to 2011 on pieces, so building pieces. I didn't know it was going to be an Oracle deck, but I was just had that passion for creating art for people based on their photos, get them in the studio, clients, my meditation group, and then just create things for them and just give it to them. But then it became a deck, and I thought, how wonderful, because Oracle, of course, is just a tool. It's a tool that we use as psychics or intuitives to be able to get easy information through. So we use it through our senses. You get your information in many ways, just like any other tool, pendulums, dowsing rods, whichever you prefer to use. Cards are the same. They're no different. It's just an easy way or an outlet for spirit or your guides to find a way to get the message to you. And cards are the perfect example of that. But what I was finding, I mean, tarot's great because tarot has a long culture, a long traditional meaning. Each card never changes its traditional meaning. So tarot's great, but with Oracle, what I was finding, some of the Oracle decks were challenging to read because they were really creative titles or just really creative as far as they didn't really tell you anything. They weren't words that spirit would say to you. They weren't words that your guides would say to you. So I thought, I'm going to create a deck. This was my first one, my personal deck. And my personal deck now has about 300 cards in it because over the years I've done I've added to my personal deck a few cards every year based on what I go through each year. And that gives more power to each card because it's related to something, an event that happened. So I continue to keep creating in my personal deck. It's got about 300 cards, but the beginning of that, how that created was I want a tool that I can work with spirit where if the words aren't coming so easily, and I've been practicing intuitive since I was 15 and I'm now in my 50s, but I want to be able to make it easy for spirit to get the words through to me. And so therefore on the cards, I will have an experience. So I know what it means. I know what that experience feels like, but the word is going to be very basic. It's going to be a word that spirit would whisper in your ear. So that's my secret on making a really powerful Oracle deck. So that's what, and usually when I'm doing that, all of my decks are aligned, well, all of them are aligned to guides. I listen to everything they say because I'm a clairaudient. So I'll sit down and they begin by giving me, when there's a new deck coming in, they'll give me the list of the cards. They'll write down word after word after word. I write, they tell, and I just write. I don't question. I just do what I'm told. And then I start to see the images. And then that's when I start creating. It takes a little while to create a deck, but yes, it begins with the download. But that's where I started. I started through my journey as a photographer, had to learn Photoshop, then started getting creative with Photoshop, then got polished and educated in graphic design and digital art. And then, from then they started becoming much better. So that's when I created my first deck and started selling my deck in 2011. That was the first one.
Which was your first deck?
My first one is none of the ones on the tape. Was my personal one. The personal one that I created was the very first one. And
right,
it
the one with 300.
Yeah, back then it didn't have 300. It was just a smaller one. It was probably about 50. But yeah, that was the one I started selling to begin with. That one's the closest one that I have to that is this one. This is the closest one that I have to that, my personal, the original first one. Yeah, that's the closest one I have to my original.
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
And it's just developed over since, so 2011 was the first one, and I now have ones. And I find if I make it easy for spirit by, okay, you're going to do a political reading, well, then I'm going to give you a lot of political words. So a deck that's just got cards that are political cards. So that way they don't have to keep shuffling through to find the right answer in that deck. I try to make it easy for spirit to communicate with us. That's my point of the decks. That's why they're broken up into different decks.
I love what you said about, having the messages come to you from spirit, because when I was first introduced to your decks, which wasn't too long ago, I was looking on your online and everything because one of my subscribers said that they wanted to give me one of your decks. So I just pick out the one I wanted.
Oh, beautiful.
And I did end up picking up the signature, but I was just like, I'm not sure I'm gonna resound with this. I'm not sure it's going to, because it was dolls and is what I looked like. I looked at the dolls and I'm like, I don't know about this. But
Yeah,
let me tell you guys, when I got her decks, it's just like they're magic. They
they are magic.
really are magic,
Yeah,
and I love working with them, and I work with them all the time, just
yeah.
all the time.
When I create from the beginning, since day one, I because I'm Reiki 3, so I'd always infuse Reiki energy into the cards that you are. And now it's just intention. I mostly just use intention because I think intention's a pretty powerful thing. So my intention into everything I create is that you are safe and protected while you're using this tool. And the other thing is that your intuition is enhanced by using this tool. It's the whole intention of what these tools are designed for, to make it easy for spirit to communicate with you in a very safe way, in a very easy way, and that it enhances your intuition. And that's why I say, doesn't matter what the guidebook says, it matters what you say. So if you're more drawn to an image or a part of that image, you talk about that part. If you're more drawn to a single word out of the couple of words that I give you, go with that word. It's your intuition rules above all, and that's the intention I put behind the decks. But they are
Yeah,
magic. A little bit of intentional magic goes into each deck.
and you can tell that when you get it. So I know how, but I'm gonna let you um tell, how do you get your decks? How do you find them?
How do I
How
get the new
does
ones?
people find them that are in the
Oh,
chat?
okay. Yeah, my website is trishejaimesoracles.com. I'm sure we can put links in the description down below,
Yeah,
and you'll
Jackie,
see there.
please.
Yeah, you'll
Yes.
see the different decks that I have. I usually run. There's a few of them that I run constantly. They're the popular ones that the personal predictions are popular one. It's great for general purpose reading.
It is
So,
awesome. I love
yeah,
it.
uh,
Yeah.
and I have a little surprise coming very soon connected to this deck. I'm
Oh,
so
really?
excited. I can't reveal it yet though because it's too soon. I want it in my hands before I reveal, but it is connected to this deck and I'm very, very excited about it. So maybe I'll come back on when it's here and I can
Yeah.
give you I can actually show you through it. I had the sample sitting on my table, but yeah, I'm very excited. That's one of the popular ones that I keep in stock. I keep the predictions in stock because a lot of big political channels use my predictions oracle and my governance oracle. They're the ones that a lot of psychics around the world use. And sorry, difference between the decks. Yeah. Yes. And then, of course, the investigation. Yes. Thank you, Liz. So the investigation's another one that I normally keep in stock, but this time I'm running the crime. It's the accompany it to the investigation deck. It's the crime clarifier. When that one runs out, that one's a limited time only. I will let that one go and just bring back the investigation deck, and I may rerun the a short run again next year. So there's some that I keep in stock all the time, and there's some that appear for a short time till they sell out, and then they may come back again the following year. But yeah,
No,
there's a
I
big
think
assortment to cover all areas.
I heard that the signature, I read somewhere, the signature was
Gone,
only gonna be for, is it gone now?
gone, gone,
I am
finished.
so lucky that I
Yeah.
got it, because
And that was based off my original, that one. And that's one of my go-tos for when I'm doing a personal reading for someone. My two go-to decks that I always begin with is this one here. This is the Immortal Cycle. I did this one here in conjunction with an author that and a book that he wrote. So I read his book, and then I sat down and I pulled out all of the messages I was getting out of his book, and how that would. And then I had to convert that because he's not a reader, but that he's very creative. So I had to pull out how I would convert that into a oracle deck that related to his topic, and his topic was about kind of reincarnation and different
Mhm.
things that you go through. It was that that you go through, and so this deck is and that's why it's called the Immortal Cycle. That's the name of the book. So then I created a deck, and it's actually a very powerful deck. This one, it's my go-to for my number one deck that I use when I do a reading for somebody. I'll pull this one because then I can see where they're up to in their immortal cycle, what kind of loops or programs are very relevant to them or happening in their lifetime. So I start with that, and then I usually go to this one. This is the one that I go to second, for
Right.
general purpose. Perfect for general purpose. When I'm doing live readings, this is my favorite go-to for that one. And then also the personal predictions.
Right. Right.
Personal
So
predictions is my favorite one for when I want to pull a card for myself once a week. I do a little quick reading for myself. This is my go-to for that one.
Now, I haven't seen the Immortal Cycle in your shop. I might have just glanced over it for whatever reason, but is it for sale
It's
too?
in there. Yeah, it's in there. It's getting very low on stock, that one, but I've just spoken with the author and he wants another run. So we will reorder that one. I've just been given the go ahead 2 days ago for that one to rerun that one. So it's down to about 20 left in stock. And yeah, he's given me the go ahead to rerun that one, which is great.
Anyone knows my wish list, that this is on my wish list. So the Immortal Cycle.
Yeah, we need an Amazon wish list, don't we, for the Trishe Jaimes oracles? I'm not on Amazon.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So I was just gonna ask you, what motivates you to keep going with your decks and just to find that magic, from within, from above.
Yeah.
When did your
So
journey start? Something like that.
yeah. Now I'm always looking for what is my secret. We all have toolkits on how we pump up our energy or how we get more connected. So I'm always looking for what's my key to how I can be more connected, more psychic. And I've discovered that I'm most psychic when I'm creating. So when I'm open and they're giving me the downloads, that's why I create constantly, because I'm most open. I'll wake up in the middle of the night at 3:00 in the morning and have a download, and I've got to grab the journal next to me. I have a card journal which has got lists and lists and lists of different decks, and I just write 3:00 in the morning. I'm just writing these. When I was creating the Immortal Cycle deck and putting that one together, because it's so spiritual, that one, I was waking up with light codes on my ceiling. I could see visions of light codes and wave particles on my ceiling. It's like my ceiling wasn't even there. So this is that's what I'm so connected when I'm creating, and it's just the whole process is so amazing, and that's why I can't stop creating, because I'm most connected when I'm creating. My intuition's heightened. It's my outlet. I'm meant to believe it's what I'm supposed to do. I've always been obsessed. I remember once my son's autistic. My best friend's son's also autistic, and he used to talk about his chickens all the time, like in his autistic way. And one day he just said, "Oh, you're talking about oracles again." This was years and years ago when he was young, and I'm thinking, am I autistic? Because I'm so obsessed with oracles. Even back then, that's all I would talk about. It's an obsession. I'm connected. I just love it. I love to create. I create every day, whether I'm creating for a deck or not. I'm doing an art piece every single day. Every single day I'm creating something. Yeah, I'm more open. I receive messages. It's just who I am.
It's amazing. Yeah. And so you did get into the tarot, of course. So you got the
I
Astro
do.
Tarot, and
I
I
do.
have the
Yeah.
Stardust and
Yeah. That's
Shadows.
on its last legs.
Is it? Well, it's not going. They're going to have to pry it from my
Yeah.
dead fingers. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that one's down
that's
to around
this
20
one.
as well. And when that one's going to be, because I've got some new ones coming in next year, so I want to make some room. So yeah, that one's on its last legs. It's one of the decks that will be going soon.
All right, Bill. I love it because it's got both on. It's an Oracle
Absolutely.
deck and a Tarot deck.
Yeah.
Got one
Yeah.
on one side and one on the
Yeah.
other.
And the beauty about that is the cost of that deck is the same as a 80 card deck. So it's cheaper than my 100
Right.
card decks, but you get 160 messages. So that's what I
Yeah.
love about those double-sided ones.
Yeah, I
You get
love it.
more for less.
And the tarot deck that you created, you do have the reverse meanings on them. And I
Yeah.
love that, how the
Yeah.
reverse meaning is underneath the
Yeah.
um, primary meaning of it. So you know your tarot pretty well.
I started learning tarot when I was 20. My mum's a psychic. She's a meditation teacher, and she started teaching me. I didn't have a traditional upbringing as far as like religion and that kind of thing. My upbringing was alternate. So the bookcases were full with Edgar Casey. unexplained mysteries. I think it was Lopsam Ramper or something. We had all these past life books. It was the bookcase when I learnt to read. It was alternate. So that's how I had an alternate upbringing. So my mum started teaching me when you touch jewelry and learn to read jewelry. So that was, I started learning that at 15. So I would hold jewelry and I'd start to learn to bring through whatever messages. So that's when I started. By about 20, I became obsessed with the tarot, because that was another tool. My tool was touching things and reading. So, and hearing or downloading information on what I was touching. Once I discovered the tarot, I'm like, yeah, this is an easy way. This is like spirit, it makes it's easy. They can just show me the picture or show me the words, and sometimes it's a little easier when you've got that little block and you're not quite hearing the words clear enough. So I became obsessed with tarot, and as I said, tarot's been around for a long time. It's very traditional. I adapted to tarot first, and I used to go and do readings for groups of people when I was about 20, and that was with the tarot. But then that's when I wanted something more current, because tarot is older, and I think it sometimes I find, like when I'm reading, I go into like your right brain, so your creative brain, your intuition brain, your imaginative brain. And when tarot has its traditional meanings, and if you're trying to read a tarot card for a true crime or a political, you've got to do the conversion in your head. So you've got to think, okay, Five of Wands. Five of Wands, I know what it means. It means petty battles. It means struggles. What does that mean in a true crime context? Or what does that mean in a political context? So you've got to do that conversion. And I always struggle to come out of right brain into left brain to do that conversion. So that's why I put the words on there, because there's many words for each card has many words in the tarot, but I like to give you a starter point. So I give you one word, and then from there okay, this, and this should come through after those words. But when you're reading it for a topic, a certain type of topic, I want to make it easy for you. So I do the conversion in advance.
Mm-hmm.
The way I create tarot is very different to the way I create oracle, because I'm limited by having to stick to traditional means or meanings on the tarot. But I do those conversions so that it will read a true crime easily, or read a political event easy. I've done the conversion for you, so then you can stay in right brain and just bring through the intuition. So that's what I do with the tarot. But it's a different way, because it's so traditional and I have to stick to traditional meanings. I don't have that same luxury of let spirit just tell me. And it's interesting, because when I did that pink deck, the Stardust Shadows deck, I sat down. In the book, they always begin with a download, and I'm writing. I'm looking on the page, and there's like 150 or 160 meanings. I'm like, I can't create a deck that has, over 150. It's just going to be too big for people to shuffle. I thought, but I never question. I never doubt them. I always say, okay, I just trust. I just do. I do as I'm told. Whatever I'm guided to. And then they started showing me images of shovels. Images of, I'm trying to think. It was such a long time ago that I created that one. But they started showing me tarot elements, and I'm like, how am I going to convert this to a tarot when there's like over 150 words that you've given to me that I've got to include in this deck? And then I thought, okay, I'm going to start with a suit. I took a suit and I said, okay, where do I find the King of Swords? And I went down the list and I thought, that's the King of Swords, that one there. So I'd highlight that off, right, King of Swords. And I went through every single tarot and I found a equivalent in the list that had already been given, not knowing I was ever creating a tarot, and found that. And then I had all these ones left over, and I'm like, okay, what do I do with the rest? And then that's when I had the download of, it's the oracle version. It doesn't create, they don't relate to tarot at all. They're an oracle card. That's when I had, and I listened to what they told me. I knew it was going to be tarot, because of not in the initial planning stage, but once they showed me the elements of tarot, the pentacles and the cups and the elements there, the swords and the wands, I knew it was tarot. But then they showed me that it was going to be double-sided. So I just follow along. I just do what I'm told.
That's incredible. It's really awesome. Okay, so I know you use your cards when you're doing readings. So do you have another favorite
Mm,
artist or
I do.
creator? Who
I
is
do.
that?
Ciro Machete. He's my favorite
Oh my
tarot
gosh,
creator.
he's mine too.
The best in the world. He's what I use. I mean, I use the Rider-Waite. Back when I used to use tarot to do readings before Oracle, I used Rider-Waite and Ciro Machete. And I've got pride in place in my bookshelf with I have my decks all set up, but I also have I have a gold lined one, signed one, which I love. So it sits there with mine. I just love it. Yeah, he's always
That
been my
is
favorite.
awesome. So,
Yeah.
my first deck I didn't care for that much, but the second deck I got was this, and
Gilded.
the
That's my
Gilded.
number one. That's
Yeah,
my favorite. That's the
this is
one that I
how I
have in
learned.
the gold edition. So it's signed and all and the gold
Oh,
edging
wow.
and yeah.
You can tell this has been around a while.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's been used a lot, but this is how I learned tarot was this little pamphlet that comes with it.
Yeah.
That's how I learned tarot.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
That,
unbelievable, and
that's amazing.
such beautiful imagery. I mean, I
Beautiful.
probably was most inspired by him as a creator. So yeah, just and I used to binge watch his YouTube videos. So and he used to show you back when I was learning art, he'd show you how he would create different things with like the gold and little things that he'd make. And I just get there in Photoshop and I learned through magazines. I learned through him. I learned through on the Photoshop side of it. And then of course I went to uni to do advanced creative photography. But yeah, he's was my inspiration from the beginning.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you had him on your channel or?
No. Oh God, no. Wow. No. I'd be yeah, definitely fangirling. I just he was my inspiration from the beginning. Love his creations.
I do too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, from the beginning, that's how I fell in love with tarot was that
Me too.
particular tarot deck, and
Me too. Me
I
too,
just
definitely.
enjoy how
My first one though that I ever learnt on was and I still have it. I keep it in a little chest. I have a little treasure chest. It was something to do with a child, and it was connected to fairy tales. So
hmm
they'd give you a card and it was connected to like Hansel and Gretel, and they would connect that to a tarot, and then they would tell you the tarot meaning, and then they tell you to sit with that card, which you can do this with any deck. Sit with that card, each card in your deck. How does it make me feel? What does this remind me of in my life? Because that's another little tool that spirit uses. They will then give you a memory of your own, something that you've been through, because they're trying to tell you this person is going through something similar to what you experienced. So when I learnt the tarot, I learnt to open each card and go with this deck that I use, and how does this card make me feel? What does this card remind me of from my own childhood or my own life? And then I'd equate that to that and give that a embedded meaning apart from just a tarot meaning, but an extra level of meaning based on my experience. And spirit works that way. They love to use your emotions and they love to use your experiences to help you to read for other people.
that's awesome. Yeah, yeah, and I told Trish before the show that I was fangirling, and she said she was nervous. I'm like, I'm nervous too.
Yeah. Yeah, I always get nervous before any live. I get nervous, and then when I get on, I'm word vomit. I just don't shut up.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for telling us about your journey, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's just amazing. I didn't know that there was. Sherry said she has like 9 of your decks. So
Yeah.
how many
Yes,
do you
yes.
have total? Do you? I'm
Oh,
sure you
I honestly, I don't know because I
don't
have
know. Okay.
yeah, I don't know because I'm constantly creating because that's, as I said, that's my connection to spirit. That's how I feel like if I didn't create, that would turn that off and I may lose my strong connection or my psychic ability. So I always keep it
Right.
switched on. And I've been creating since 2011. So
Wow.
yeah, I have a lot, but I don't sell them all. And if they're not easy to read, I test them first. So I'm testing this one here at the moment, which is my Uranus one, Uranus deck.
Oh
So
wow.
I love it, but I always love I love anything that I'm working on and creating. I just love it's a powerful deck because it's based on the principles of Uranus, and it'll tell you. And Uranus is all about activation, awakening. It's about, and we're a bit reversed there. Disruptions to your life, sudden clarity, sudden changes. So it's got all the themes of Uranus in that deck. So I am working on that one. I don't sell it. If I don't think it's going to be a deck that other people can read, I won't order it in, because it costs me a fortune, obviously, in ordering these decks to come in. And I outlay all the money and buy them first. And if they don't sell, then I've just spent thousands and thousands of dollars on something that's just going to sit on a shelf. So I have to make sure that deck is very usable. I have to make sure that that deck is going to equate well to other people before I decide that's one that I'm going to run. So yeah, I don't sell them all. I just sell, yeah. And then the ones that are popular, I just keep reordering those ones, and then run a limited edition as a test to see how people respond to that deck.
That's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't imagine you doing a deck that people would not gravitate towards. So
I've had one, and I don't know where it is. It's one little witchy deck that I did, and it was just a fun little deck. I struggled, actually. I struggled to do readings with it. I struggled to, read for other people with it, to pull messages through for myself on it. So now it comes out at Halloween, and I do the shorts, the pick a card shorts at Halloween. I do them using my little witchy deck. It's such a cute little deck. It's purple and it's orange, and it's got all witches and the healing witches and the reading witches and all kinds of crystals, one for every crystal. But it's very hard to do a reading with. It's hard to do a real reading for yourself or for somebody else. So I don't sell that one.
sure. I bet it would sell if you did, but I understand why.
Maybe.
So, yes. Well, do you feel like doing a few readings?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, awesome.
Happy to.
We've got a couple of people who donated. Let's see. Tina was the first one. So Tina Mexico says, can I know from my guides anything for the next few months? And I do have permission to use Trisha's decks. So I wanted to make sure, just in case we get the same thing. So that's pretty awesome, I think, when we do.
I always start with my signature. So that's
right.
the one I'm using to start with.
And feel free to go first if you want to.
So okay. I've got some cards pulled. And as I'm reading these cards, I'm just going to pull you a little celestial gift one. This is one of the decks that are not for sale yet. They're just what Spirit wants you to work on with your psychic abilities, what psychic abilities may be coming up for you, what you need to do a little bit more work on. So I'm just going to pull you one of those while I'm reading. Now, the messages coming through for your guides in the next month, you've got some powerful guides. I've got to tell you that first up, because look at this wise guide here that you've got guiding you. So you've got some really, and I used the wrong word when I said powerful. Your guides are supportive. Your guides are constantly there for you. They're there for you in ways you don't even realize. So even when you don't know they're there, they're guiding you. They're guiding you through synchronicities. They're guiding you through ideas. They're always there. They're on top of everything you do. So you've got very supportive guides. And what I mean by, even if you don't know they're there, you may not be getting a message through loud and clear, like a broadcast coming through. You've got to take this direction, or you've got to do this. But they're doing it for you always in small ways. You might walk into a shop and find yourself frozen and staring at something. And then you're like, and why? I don't need that. But you'll find a day later you're going to need that. So tiny little things like that. Your guides are there working constantly with you. You've got a really good spirit team with this card, very experienced. So whether they're saying you're experienced with working with your spirit team, yes. But I feel like also you've got a very good supportive. And you know why that is? It's because they know that you validate them. They know that you give them permission to be part of your life. That's why they're so there. That's why they're constantly with you, because you've given them permission to do that. They're also saying that there's some focus or mindfulness up around you. Now, I don't know if that means you've had mind fog lately, or there's been some issues with focusing on something, whether that's bringing something into completion or bringing something into fruition. There's a little bit of focus or mindfulness that's needed. Mindfulness you can get through grounding, walking, meditating. If you're needing that clarity, if you're trying to cut through the brain fog, or you're trying to bring through information or downloads, or bring through ideas like inspiration, you've got to do a little bit of work with mind fog. There's something going on around mindfulness that they want you to pay attention to. Pay attention to your mind is what they're saying. Now they're saying that something going on around your house or family. This is the nest change. Now when the nest change appears, it means that there's going to be a change to your house or home. Either you're going to rearrange your furniture, you're going to paint your house, you're going to move houses, you're going to have a new addition to your home, you're going to have a new person in your home, or somebody's going to leave your home. It can be family or home. There's going to be changes. So whether that means clearing clutter, whether that means painting walls, whether that means renovations, whether that means selling your home or moving into a new home, there's changes coming, nest changes. But they say if this is something you're planning on doing, don't rush. Things take time. Be patient. Things will happen when they're meant to happen. That's what they want to say for you. And they just want to say that you are loved as well. That's the other message they want to bring through for you, that love and bliss. So, and if it's love you're looking for, maybe that's where you need a little bit of patience, because they're sitting diagonal on my table. Nest change, home or family sitting right next to patience, but this is sitting diagonal. So be patient with your heart as well. One card for you. Oh my God, you're not going to believe this. I just love how spirit works. They blow my mind every time. This is patience. Again, they're reinforcing the message. It just popped out of that deck like this is what spirit, and this deck normally tells me what spirit wants you to work on as far as developing your intuition, or which psychic gifts are coming for you, but they're just reinforcing that message. Patience is a virtue. Have some patience. Things take time. Hope that resonates.
That's awesome. Okay. I'm just typing questions are closed now. So thank you everybody for your donations and for your questions. We only have about 20 more minutes, so we may not get to everybody, but we'll do our best. Tina, I got the death card for you, and the death card is all about change, transition, transformation. So I think that your guides are telling you get ready, because this is a major card. So you've got major changes coming in. You've got the
Amazing.
Six of Swords, which says you're on the right track. You're going in the right direction, and that's just really good. And then on top of that, you've got the Sun, and that's joy and vitality and peace and harmony. So how can you shine your inner light? It says at the bottom. And what I've got for you as far as oracles, I've got the control card, which is a power struggle. So you may have a power struggle going on in your life right now. And with the other cards, I can kind of see that you may have that, but Spirit's just saying that you can change that. You may have been having mood swings, extreme emotion come in. The best thing for this is emotional control, and making sure that you're calling out to Metatron, who is the archangel of vibration, so he can change your vibration from low to high. And then you got that there's going to be a truth revealed. So this doesn't have to be something negative. This can be something positive as well, that maybe you just haven't been able to get out, or something that somebody's going to tell you as well. But I think you're on the right track. So
Wonderful. And Scott, you pulled your Scorpio card.
Yes, I did. I pulled the
You
death
did.
card.
I've got to say, I love your thumbnails. I love seeing all the people you have on, and you create really creative thumbnails for each person.
Yeah, and I did yours because Jackie actually told me, she's like, you need to create one for Trish that has her like investigating like
Yeah,
Sherlock Holmes, because you love
yeah.
mysteries.
Well, you
So
know what? You wouldn't know this when you created this, but my 10th house, which is my public face, what I'm known for, the job I do, the career that I have, Scorpio. Scorpios are well known for being investigators in the
right.
areas of tarot, astrology, all those taboo subjects, but deep diving rabbit holes and investigation. And I do that publicly. That's my public face. So yeah, spot on with the investigation on your thumbnail, because that's what my public role is.
Wow. What is your primary sign?
My ascendant is Aquarius, so it makes me a little
Yes.
detached or a little weird. Sometimes I've got to pull myself back when I start going down, and that's why I have two channels. So I have my Trishe Jaimes tarot, which is my more mainstream tarot, and then I have another channel called Cosmic Trish, and over there is where I go down. I look at Akashic, I look at UFOs, I look at past life reincarnation. I'm now looking into helping people with shadow work and doing shadow work. So I do my woo-woo topics over there, because I have to remember, being an ascendant Aquarius, I can easily go beyond boundaries and just go way too woo-woo. So I pull myself back on my main channel, focus on main topics, and then over there I just go wild. I'm just very, very Aquarian over on my cosmic channel. I also do my astrology over there as well. But my sun sign is Gemini and my moon sign is Cancer.
Awesome. So, Jackie, if you could put her other channel in there. I know Jackie found it a couple weeks ago, so she can put it in there for you. So make sure you subscribe to that one as well. And Kathy Beer, thank you for your donation. You'll go next, and then we will try to get to the few other donations that we have. See what happens here. All right, Kathy. Let me just get to the bottom of there we go. Um, Kathy, the first card I got for you is the Two of Wands. And the Two of Wands is usually, making progress, making a plan, um, manifesting what you want, writing it down, and it can even be travel. But this came in reversed, and I don't read reversals usually. But with the help of Trisha's cards, I'm going to read it because it says down here there's a little R, and that's the reverse meaning, and it says direction clash. So there may be a clash of direction of which way you're trying to go, and you just need to use your intuition and your gut feeling, in order to answer that question. And so then I've got the moon, which the moon is intuition, cycles. It's also shadow work. So you may need to do a little bit of shadow work. Sit with your fears and change them. Archangel Metatron is great about that as well, as I said before. So that could come into play. And then you got the Four of Cups, which is to contemplate or have boredom, and just make sure you're trusting spirit that every opportunity is a good opportunity. So I think there's an opportunity coming for you. And then you got the anchor. So you're being held down a little bit and having heavy burdens, or you may have this in the future. And this just says you need balance. So just make sure you're bringing balance. Home, work, relationships, friendships, all that is equal, and none of it is, being overworked or being overwhelmed with anything. And if you do those things, then I think that you'll be on a better path of happiness, and you'll have a new opportunity, like the card says, to come in.
Yeah, great advice. Yeah,
Go
really
ahead.
good. We have that in common, actually, Scott. I don't normally read reversals either. The whole time I read tarot, when I never read reversals. So when I put that reverse meaning on the cards, it's a little bit for me because I never really bothered to learn the reverse meaning of tarot. There's like tarot's got so many meanings as it is. But yeah, I always just used to read the reverse of the upright, whatever the opposite is to that. But yeah, I never really read reverse either. But having the words there makes it so much simpler. So, Kathy. Now, I see you doing a little bit of hermit work. So, whether that's shadow work, like you said, Scott, or there's some kind of work where you're needing to go inward. So, whether you're, and again, I've got the mindfulness card again for you as well. So, mindfulness is showing that, yeah, you need to it's not so much a brain fog that I'm picking up around you. It's more about an inward, going within. You have the answers, is what they're saying. You know the answers, you know the direction, you know what to do. So they're saying that you can be very focused and driven, but they want you to pull back for a moment and go inward, and they want you to sit down and work out the right direction for you. They want you to just consider the people around you, consider the direction you're going. It's a bit of hermit work that's going on around you. You have the inner wisdom. This is out of the immortal cycle. So you have all the tools already needed in your toolkit to find the answers yourself. This is the key. You hold the keys already. You know the answer. It's within you already. So they're asking you just to go within, have that mindfulness, take that, and it equates to the rest card of just pulling back for a moment and just taking some time to consider and dig deep within, whether that's shadow work or just finding the answers within to set you in the right direction. I do see a little bit of endings around you. I've got the Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords can be about surrender. It can be about letting go. You know what? It can even be about going with the flow and just letting go and going with the flow. Even though the swords are about our words, they're about our mental activities. Maybe you've got to surrender in a way to the thoughts. So now they're showing me the Hermit. So they're showing me you going into mindfulness, going within and surrendering. Does this mean that you are constant chatter in your mind and you need to go within and surrender within that? So I'm not seeing now that Ten of Swords as an endings like you would see the Death card. I'm seeing it as a surrendering to the process, to the words, to the swords. So they're saying the mental, the mindfulness, the focus. Go within, focus, surrender to that, and then go deeper into it. You have the keys. You're going to pull the answers out of your own mind, out of your mind. You've got powerful mental activity. You just maybe have to cut through the busyness. You cut through whether it's your trouble focusing or whether there's a lot going on in there, you've got to cut through that. That's why they're telling me Hermit. They're telling me it's a moment of retreat, going within, stepping away from outside influences and listening to yourself, not to everybody else. They're saying filtered speech. So I don't know if you're having to be careful with your words or be careful with what you're saying around a certain person, or they're telling you that you need to be careful how you're saying something to somebody or what you're saying in front of a certain person, because they may take it the wrong way. So just filter your words a little bit or be aware of it. Whether you're in a situation where you know you have to filter your words, if you don't, then they're asking you, you've just got to be a little careful with what you're saying, because it does, filtered speech also relates to the swords as well. You've got the swords prominent being the Ten of Swords. So it's saying what truth can no longer be avoided. Now, does that mean you're hanging on to something and you just want to let it out? They're saying just filter the way you let that information out. For you, Spirit is saying a general reading. They're saying look after your nutrition and well-being. They want you to just take a little look at that. Make sure you're doing everything the best that you can do. Make sure that you're, getting sunlight, getting grounding, getting the right nutrition, all the things, walking, doing all those things. They're asking you to look at your nutrition and your well-being. They're telling me favorable outcome. As your final card, it's a favorable outcome. So whatever it is that you're working through at the moment or you're working towards, it will have a favorable moment. The other card I didn't read was the Three of Pentacles, and this is coming together with others, but it's also making sure that everybody's contributing. So you're not doing the lion's share of the work, that you need other people too. Now, while they're asking you to retreat back in and find the answers yourself, they are also saying that sometimes you can work with others and bounce off others, but when it comes to distribution of duties or roles or responsibilities, everybody needs to work together. You can't pull the strings on your own. You need help to get through everything you've got to get through, and teamwork and support is needed. It says, can you accept help from others where needed? Hope that makes sense.
Awesome. Thank you. And thank you, Kathy. And next up is going to be Sabrina. So Sabrina wants to know, will I leave my club Pilates job? And Sabrina is also a deck creator. She has her own Oracle deck out, and she's
Awesome.
on a tarot deck.
Amazing. Oh, I'd love to know your ascendant sign, Sabrina.
I believe she's a Sagittarius. Is that right, Sabrina?
Sagittarius.
You're a Sag?
Sagittarius, you've got Uranus sitting across from you. If Uranus is sitting over there in Gemini, it's just entered Gemini, I believe it was this year. It'll sit there for 7 years. And I just pulled that Uranus deck. Actually, I'm going to pull a card from you from that deck because it's sitting in opposition to your identity house, your number one house, your first house. So that is saying that you've got some big changes coming, perhaps to your identity, but there could be a struggle with, and I'm sorry, I'm pulling astrology now. So there could be a struggle with making it happen because it's in opposition. It's going to affect you, but it could be a little bit of push and pull, which is probably why you can sense that you want to leave. You're just not sure. You're doubting in a way that you're thinking, am I going to be okay? Is it going to be okay if I leave? You're sensing, no, there's changes because there is changes. There's shakeups. Uranus represents changes, sudden changes, shakeups and disruptions. It is affecting your first house as a Sagittarius ascendant. So you're going to feel that. Oh, you're a Taurus. Okay,
She's
Taurus.
a Taurus. I got it wrong.
Taurus. So you've had, let me see, you've had that shakeup energy. It was in Taurus. It's just moved to Gemini. Now it's in the early stages of Gemini. So depending on how far in your degree is of your ascendant line, you could still have this opening part of Gemini in your first house. If you're midway through your degree, your ascendant degree is midway through Taurus, you're still going to have some Gemini in your first house, which means that Uranus is still relevant. It's in your first house. And actually, you pretty much could be right on that mark. Very, very, you're probably crossing that mark where you know there's big changes, there's disruptions, and you're feeling it. So they're saying that they're asking you to, I'm pulling out of the that deck, which this one's not available. I'm testing this deck. This is an ascending current. It's asking you to rise. Now it's asking you, what opportunities for rising do you have in that job that you've got? So you may be considering that yourself. You're feeling like you're wanting more. You're feeling like you want to step up. You're feeling like you want to rise. And you're starting to question, am I going to get to where I want to be from the job that I've got? Uranus is just coming in and it's smashing you with shake up. Listen to me. We've got some disruptions. The Uranus is saying we need you to move. So it doesn't do it gently. It doesn't do it as harsh as Pluto, but it's not gentle like Neptune. It's just quick and sudden. It'll make those breaks for you if you don't listen to the guidance that you're already feeling. Technology overwhelm, a feeling is probably what you're struggling with. Now, Uranus rules technology. It rules innovation. It rules new invention. It rules all kinds of AI and computers. And maybe you're struggling because of that technology side of it. So it's saying maybe there's a bit of recalibration that's needed around new technology. Maybe there's some kind of skill or upgrade that you can do to help you rise or ascend to do with new technology or computers. It's going to make you feel more confident to make the move. The move's coming because Uranus is affecting your first house. So it will come, but it will come with a bit of a push and pull struggle because it's in opposition. They're saying that in the job that you've got, have you been relinquishing your power? Have you been giving your power away? Have you been pulling back on shining your lights? It's not even that. It's more like, should you be sitting in that throne, but you feel like you're not? Is somebody else sitting in that throne when you should be sitting in that throne? I hope you understand what I'm saying when I mean that. It's something to do with the position that you're in at your work, or is that work allowing you to be that person sitting on that throne? See that crown sitting on the ground? You don't even have the crown on. So they're saying what Uranus wants you to do in this sudden change and disruptions that you're feeling in your body, they want you to pick up that crown, put it on your head and sit on that throne. They want you to be the full, sovereign, empowered person that they know that you are. And the Uranus is coming in to shake you up and say, we want you to do that. You're going to need a little bit of strategy and planning to get there. You're going to need to think about the right steps to move forward. But I see ascension coming for you. I see you moving up, and I see you finally stepping into your true power, who you really are. What is it that drives you, that you're meant to do with your life? moving in that direction, and Uranus is going to help you get there. The Ace of Swords is new beginnings. It's new beginnings when it comes to mental activity in the way you speak, but also in clarity and triumph over any adversities that you've been having recently. So they're positive cards for you, but there is a change coming.
Yeah, absolutely. You got the withdrawal card, the Eight of Cups, which is walking away. So I feel like this is part of this is exactly what Trish was talking about. You're going to something new anyways.
Mm.
So I think that leaving this behind is probably what is going to happen. And it says, are you escaping instead of facing it? So just face what you know is true. And if you're thinking about it, it's probably because it needs to happen. Look here, you've got a new beginning happening. So something new coming in with the Fool. And that's a big opportunity that's coming in for you. But you've got the Five of Pentacles, which is hardship, but it does say support is incoming. And I like, even though that's the reverse side, that there's always a light. There's light here with the Five of Pentacles. So there's always light at the end of the tunnel. So you may have a little bit of hardship, but I think it's going to work out. You're overwhelmed right now because you're overworked. And then you've got irresistible, lack of control. So just make sure that you don't have a lack of control of stopping when it's time to stop. So that's what I'm getting for you, Sabrina. So thank you so
Great
much.
message. Mm.
Thank you. And so is yours. Okay. Do we have time for one more, or do we need to cut it down?
Yeah, let's do one more. Let's do
Or
one
one
more.
more? Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry I didn't get to everybody, but you can come by for my shows tomorrow, and I'll make sure I get the people that have donated first. All right. Mona Lee says, what do my spirit guides, angels, or ancestors of the highest light need to know for the next few weeks? Mona Lee, I got the Seven of Wands, and the this is what I call the defense card. So it's great that you put defend on there. This is boundaries and making sure that you know that you can handle anything that comes your way. Then you got the Three of Wands, expansion. This is also jumping in and manifesting what it is that you want and have those manifestations come true. The two is planning your manifestation, the three is actually seeing it happen. And then you got the Ace of Pentacles, which is opportunity. Of course, it's also a new physical, material, or spiritual thing that is coming into your life. So it could be money. The next card I got is time is precious. So don't waste your time. And then you got the spirit message from the other side. Ooh, I love this because you have someone coming in that is saying they want to draw near to you. Who it is, it's that first person that you think of when you think of the people who have crossed over that are close to you. That first person that you think of, that's who sent you this card. So it's a hello message and drawing close and letting you know that they love you very much. And that's what I got.
I felt that. I felt that one when you pulled that card out of the connections with that. Yeah, I felt that. So obviously there's somebody in spirit that is concerned. They're worried about you. They're moving in close because they want to give you a virtual hug. They want to let you know that they're there with you. The cards that I've pulled for you is that there's some challenges ahead. Maybe you've been experiencing challenges around you, whether that's people or a situation in your life. We all go through challenges. But you're at the point where you're over it and you've had enough, because I've got these two cards sitting side by side. So it's the challenges ahead sitting with over it and had enough. You're done with it. You're done with the challenges. What they're asking you to do is to surround yourself in a bubble of light, where you almost like you're putting mirrors on the outside of the bubble. So anyone that's sending negative daggers or negative vibes your way, or their problems or their issues, it kind of reflects back out to the universe to be dealt with. It's like they're saying, protect your aura, protect your boundaries, because I don't know if you can take any more. I don't know if you can take any more problems, dramas, onslaughts, whatever it is. They're saying, put your defenses up now. It's time to go within and heal that. It's time to get that. They want to protect you. Now, there is somebody definitely with that warmth. I'm feeling the warmth around you spiritually. So I'm feeling like what it makes me feel like is that they're putting their arms around you and saying, I'm your bubble. I'm your boundary. I'm protecting you. They're putting your arms around you. And it's probably more than one, because I'm seeing it going right around you. And they're saying, we're trying to deal with whatever you're going. We're trying to help you not take on everything that you're dealing with. So as far as challenges that you've been facing or going through, that's the negative part of your reading. I'm going to focus now on the positive. So they're saying they're stepping in, they're giving you a big hug. This is a warm comfort card, comfort zone. So they want you to be put in a bubble where you feel content, your comfort, your safety. This is a Taurus energy. This is safety. It's comfort zone. So not only does Taurus represent safety, it represents comfort zone. So it's saying that where do you feel safe? Where we want you to armor yourself with this beautiful protective bubble around you, so that way you can just be around the people that make you feel content, that make you feel safe. Try to limit your exposure to people that are bouncing dramas at you, or the negative situations that you have to deal with every day. I don't know if that's customers or what it is, but they're saying you're needing boundaries around you, and they're saying we want you to feel safe and protected is what they're saying. But they do, on a positive, they're saying you're progressing. You're going to be leveling up. So they're saying, I'm seeing you rise above whatever drama is going on around you or challenges that you're facing. I see you rising. I see you leveling up. Now I see something going on with these balloons. So it's not like there's a whole heap of balloons there that's needed to help rise you up. So it feels like it's very little effort to help you rise up and level up. And what that's telling me is that it's not going to take a lot for you to level up, whether you're leveling up spiritually, whether you're leveling up in your career, or whatever, leveling up, rising above the situation that you're at. Not going to take a lot of work, because they're showing me there's not that many balloons that's picking you up. And I think the help of spirit, your ancestors, your guardians, your angels, they're there with you because you ask for their assistance. So they're coming in to pick you up and raise you above the physical dramas, the physical realm dramas, to help you through the situation. You may have a nest change coming in around you, which means changes to your home situation, whether that's a renovation, painting furniture, removing clutter, whether that is changing actual houses for you. So there's something coming up around changes to where you're living, or some kind of changes around it. The celestial gifts that I've pulled for you is the ascension. Again, it's raising up. This is moving beyond this into the spiritual realm and opening your eyes, awakening, ascending on your spiritual journey here as well. There is a rising. Here it is as well. Transcend. Look at that beautiful cat. Rise above fear. So this is what they're showing me with these two cards together, where they said they're showing you rising up above the physical stuff that's going on that feels dense and heavy. You're rising above that, and you're focusing on transcending that. You're focusing more on the spiritual realm, and because it brings you comfort. It feels good. You're in there working with your spirit guides, your angels, your ancestors, all that higher light and that beautiful energy. And you think, why can't the physical world feel that good? But they're asking you to transcend above the physical. You've got a level up coming your way.
Well, thank you, Monali, and thank you everybody for being here in chat, and the moderators. Thank you guys so much. Trish, thank you so much for coming. It's been my pleasure, our
My
pleasure.
pleasure too.
Everybody in chat, I'm sure they were talking about how incredible this has been. So
Yeah, nice and lovely to meet everybody and be here with all these new people. And I do recognize some of the names here, but it's just so nice to be around everybody. Thank you so much for letting me read your energy, guys, as well. And
right.
Scott, thank you so much for the opportunity.
Oh, you're welcome. And
It's
make sure you
easy.
subscribe. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's easy. Like I was very nervous, but yeah, it's been fun. It's been good. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. All right. We will see you guys soon. Bye, everybody. Thank you so much. And I'll see you after, Trish.
Okay, bye.
Bye, everybody.